is Papa Shango. And you are listening to Icopod. Beware of Papa Shango. Beware of voodoo. And definitely beware of Icopod.
And welcome back. It's episode 60 of Icopod. That means we're getting close to retirement age here in the land of Icopod. I'm Bob Conley Jr. and with me, as always, is Austin Skinner. How you doing, Austin?
I am doing all right. At this point, currently, I am now down 23 pounds.
Wow.
Which is pretty astonishing for a month's worth of calorie counting, which we went over maybe a couple episodes ago. So I'm feeling pretty good. I haven't noticed like a difference yet, but like some of my coworkers have kind of noticed a little bit, and I'm still chugging along. So I'm still logging everything. I'm still using MyFitnessPal app. So shout out to them. It's been working. Like I said, I've been able to kind of eat what I want, just make sure and be responsible for the portions. So everything at this point is moving pretty good. I have a feeling though that I'm going to kind of hit that barrier where I'm only losing maybe a pound a week or something like that. But it's so drastic because before, much to my unknowing, I was overeating. So it's nice to kind of see those quick results because 23 pounds in a month is pretty quick. So I'm looking forward to keep moving forward.
Yeah, at some point you'll be working off muscle, which will take longer to burn.
Probably, yeah. Seeing as I'm not really changing my physical activity.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping, with the ramping up, especially with work, it's going into our super busy season. So that means we're going to be up and down stairs all day, running around the building, kind of helping groups and all this stuff. So I'm hoping it's going to kind of work two on one. So as I'm cutting back my food, ramping up my physical activity at work, I kind of am able to stabilize myself a little bit. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm proud of you for doing that and achieving the amount of weight you've done. So should I tell you the bad news now or later?
Uh-oh. Let's hear it now, Bob.
Okay. So like I downloaded the app, remember?
Yeah.
So like don't get mad. But
oh no.
I may have gotten rid of it within like 16 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
How come?
Number one, my battery on my phone drains wicked fast as it is because of various apps or whatever.
Right.
But then I was just like, I gotta document everything that I eat and I gotta find it. And then it's just like I gotta stress out about the calories that I got left. And I'm like, I'm not that gross looking yet, so I don't know if I really should be worried about it. So.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing too. So you're fucking what, 6'3"?
And a half.
Yeah. I weigh more than you and I'm fucking 5'7". So that's a problem, right? So I'm not very proportionate. Well, I guess I am, but I'm overweight and you can tell I'm overweight. With this guy like you, I couldn't guess you were overweight, to be honest with you.
Yeah, every time somebody like I'll say, hey, guess my weight, they'll be like 190. And I'll be like, I love you so much.
Right. So your body, disperses your weight in different ways. Yeah. Unfortunately, mine doesn't have many places to go, as I'm again 5'7". So for me, I'm kind of thinking more drastic to it. It's like either I kind of take care of this now and worry about counting calories, or I worry about serious health issues down the road. So for me, it's an easy sacrifice. Okay, whatever. I'll suck it up. I'll fucking log these calories. I'll do it as long as I can to avoid further issues down the road. Because again, you know, it only gets worse with age. So if you don't take care of it, I want to try to avoid those issues. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like my weight might not be a problem, but anytime I ask somebody, hey, guess my age, it usually goes pretty not well. And one time
they guessed older?
Oh my God. One girl, okay, at work, I was like, hey, how old do you think I am? And she's like, 43.
Oh my God. Are you shitting me?
Mind you, she was like in her 50s. So like she wasn't like
God.
goofing around. She was like stone cold serious. She's 43. And I was like,
what the fuck?
I was like, excuse me? She's like, what? Am I wrong? 38. I'm like, I'm 29. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
you gotta be kidding me.
God, 43?
Yeah.
Christ, that's bad, Bob.
Yeah, that was.
I would never guess fucking 43.
Yeah. It was. That ruined my day. That was about 2:00 in the afternoon. I was still there for 7 more hours. I cried. I cried in the freezer.
Fucking A.
A little while there.
You gotta shave your beard. You'll look younger.
Well, I've been keeping it trim. That at the time it was like thicker, and I had thicker hair. It wasn't shaved off like it is now. But
yeah,
43 was.
Fucking A. Holy shit.
That was a punch to the gut.
That's a low blow. Yeah,
that did not feel good. Yep. Well, it's gonna power along here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, last week we had a lengthy discussion about our top 10 favorite wrestlers. This week we're just gonna really get into the meat and potatoes, I guess you can say. There's no observer notes; those were all for last week, and there's no syndication either, because everything that was worthwhile syndication-wise is actually addressed in the show. So let's go over some house shows that took place on January 29th and January 30th. The first one is from Boston, Massachusetts, in Boston Gardens, and that drew about 4,500 fans. And the card featured the following: the Head Shrinkers teaming up to take on the Smoking Guns, Adam Bomb squaring off against Rick Martel, Owen Hart in singles action against Scott Taylor, Doink the Clown battling Bam Bam Bigelow, Bret Hart met IRS in singles action, Crush went to war with Randy Savage in a best 2 out of 3 falls count anywhere match, and the main event was WWF World Champion Yokozuna teaming with Quang, who was a substitute for Ludwig Borga, taking on Lex Luger and Tatanka.
So really only maybe a step above the Connecticut show last week.
Yeah.
Really similar cards. You got to assume it was the next stop for that same group of guys. I think I'm still going to skip it, though. I think I'm still skipping that one.
Yeah, I don't think it's just not really that strong.
I love the Boston Gardens, though, so I might have caved for that. But, yeah.
I think I would have skipped it.
Yeah, I think I agree. I mean, the card is a little bit different, and the additions are nice, but not enough. Not enough.
Well, let's see what Long Island, New York has to give us. This was the following day, January 30th, and it drew 7,500 fans. Diesel took on Tatanka. Johnny Apollo was in singles action against Jim Powers, who was a substitute for 1-2-3 Kid. Bret Hart met IRS again in a singles match. Here's a match we have not seen. WWF World Champion Yokozuna and Quang taking on Rick Steiner and Randy Savage in a best 2 out of 3 falls match.
That's weird.
Yeah. Randy Savage is a substitute, of course, for Scott Steiner. Owen Hart met Marty Jannetty in singles action. WWF Tag Team Champions, the Quebecers, defending against Man on Mission. And the main event is another match we haven't really seen. Lex Luger squaring off against Crush in a loser surrenders match. I think I'd go to this one.
Yeah, there's kind of some wild cards. And now, don't get me wrong. I guarantee they kind of did an in-house angle. Oh, Yokozuna did something to Scott Steiner earlier tonight. So, who's Rick gonna attack? Oh my God, it's Randy Savage. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, and I don't know why I would say this, but the Crush Luger thing kind of has me interested. Like two bigger guys going at it.
Yeah.
Similar skill set, maybe. Yeah.
Well, if that interests you, just watch Slamboree 1998 and then get back to me on if that still interests you because they wrestle on that show.
Oh, try not to ruin it for me, Bob. I'm trying to have a moment here.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, that's kind of interesting. I'd be interested to see how that works. Yeah.
Well, I could probably give you a rundown. Okay, it's punch, kick,
shoulder block, stalemate,
right, nerve hold, elbow,
yeah.
power slam, running forearm, and then that's it.
I don't think Crush isn't military pressing Lex, is he?
Oh, he could.
You think?
Yeah. He
okay.
Could.
All right.
Yeah, just like how Scott Hall could do a fallaway slam on Hulk Hogan off the middle rope.
Well, that really happened.
Yeah, well, no, it did not.
WCW.
Yeah, you're
easy. Hogan would have definitely agreed to it.
No way. That's
So.
just not gonna happen. But yeah, so that would be a show that I would go to.
Yeah, I agree. Yep,
I think so.
I agree. I'd probably buy cheaper tickets for that one. Honestly,
yeah,
I would go to it.
As I mentioned, there's no syndication because it's already addressed in this show. That brings us to the January 31st, 1994 edition of Monday Night Raw, and we are live from Bushkill, Pennsylvania. We had a video package promoting the confrontation between Brett and Lex, which will be taking place tonight. They will be flipping a coin tonight to see who wrestles first for the WWF World Championship at WrestleMania 10.
Can I just really quick? So we get and it's again, it says the black with the white bold text. They've done it numerous times at this point, and it's the 3/4 portrait of each guy on a black background, whole deal. So going into it, I'm like, okay, like we're gonna get a face off tonight. Where Tunney's gonna be there. We're gonna get an answer, and then they mention the fucking coin toss thing. And I'm like, what? So basically you're telling me the Royal Rumble equates to flipping a silver dollar. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
I put it this way. If they were going to do that, I would have rather them at the Royal Rumble had all 30 guys square off against each other in a fucking coin toss. 1 by 1 coin toss. And whoever wins out of all 30 coin tosses he's going to fucking WrestleMania. Like I would have rather they did that than get all the way to the end. We get 2 winners. Yeah, we're gonna flip a fucking coin for it. That's not a football game, motherfucker. These guys had to fight 28 other fucking people to get here.
Why wouldn't they just make it a triple threat?
Exactly. Exactly. Like
I know
what is this convoluted bullshit?
I know like a triple threat. I don't really was the first one in ECW. I don't.
You know what I think it was?
So it probably was like not even an idea of something that could happen, I guess. But
I want to say which
blows my mind. Like, how does somebody not think, why don't we just got all 3 of them in there?
I don't think they would. I don't think they thought it would work.
Maybe not.
I think they wanted to avoid stuff like that because I'm almost sure like Bruce Pritchard has said, no, we hated those. Like we didn't want to ever do those because we didn't think they'd ever work. And to a point, I get that, but at the same time, fucking WrestleMania triple threat for the title, Brett, Luger, Yoko, holy fuck! Lex might turn to the narcissist. We don't know. He might team up with fucking Yoko and beat Brett's ass. Who knows?
Right.
Easy, or do it logically in a wrestling sense. Here's our finalists. Guess what, guys? You're having a match on Raw, and it's going to be the whole episode. You guys got 30 minutes of time. Got to be a winner. Easy. But instead, who the fuck said, let's flip a fucking coin to see who's going to WrestleMania? If I was Jeff Jarrett, who got my ass whooped in the Rumble, or you know what? No, even better. If I was Diesel, who whooped ass in the Rumble. And then come to find out they're going to decide the winner with a fucking coin toss. I'd go into Vince's office and whoop his ass. I'd be fucking jackknifing his ass through the desk. I'd be pissed. From a character standpoint, obviously not personal, but from a character standpoint, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's ludicrous, honestly.
It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
This is a prime example that Virgil could have been in the main event if he had just picked the right side of
Heads or tails. Yeah. Here you go. Here's your WrestleMania shot at the fucking strap. Thanks.
Yeah, and then his gimmick could be that he just has a bag full of coins and just knocks people out all the time.
They're all like weighted.
Yeah.
So fucking heads every time.
That's right. I'll knock you on your head just like I did this coin and I won at WrestleMania 10.
Damn right. Lightning quick hands, buddy.
Yo, bro, I'm going to WrestleMania.
Oh shit.
Could you admit? Okay. We can only dream.
I know.
Damn it, Virgil. Yeah, we get a Raw opening video after that. Vince McMahon is with IRS to do commentary this week. McMahon proceeds to promote the coin flip segment. IRS says that McMahon explained what the winner gets, but not the loser. The loser gets 2 extra large Buffalo Bills shirts. And he talks about someone winning $10 million and warns them that the knock on the door is surely going to be IRS because they will be there to collect their taxes. I mean, I'm assuming the Buffalo Bills thing was because they lost to the Super Bowl again. So he was like, "Oh, you lost the Super Bowl, and now you suck. So here's this shirt." And the whole like giveaway thing, like whatever. It's just IRS doing his.
Yeah, it's the same thing that they've done before, where they just highlight something in the news and either make fun of it or make reference to it. It's exactly the thing they're doing here is with both things. So I assume somebody must have won like lottery or some bullshit like that.
The publishing clearance house thing or whatever.
Yeah. So somebody won 10 million. IRS says, "Be careful. IRS is coming to collect." Blah 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 blah. So it's just cheap, pop culture references.
Yeah,
is all it is.
That brings us to our first match. It's the featured match, really. Johnny Polo taking on Marty Jannetty. It's the match we didn't want to see in December, so they give it to us again in January.
Fuck.
1-2-3 Kid was originally supposed to wrestle in this match, but of course his knee is fucked up. So Jannetty took his place, but 1-2-3 Kid is there, and he is going to be joining the commentary table to give his ever great insight. Match. Polo thinks that Kid is scared to wrestle him tonight. Obviously, that's not the case. He again fucked up his knee. Jannetty clotheslines Polo with the microphone cord, which should automatically be a disqualification.
Yeah.
But they just say continue on. Marty pretends to hog tie Polo's feet, and then Polo stands up wanting to fight, but then falls down to the mat. Again, the hog tying of his feet should be a disqualification.
Right.
Jannetty decks Polo to the floor, and then Polo decides to leave, but gets backdropped on the aisleway. Polo sends Jannetty to the floor, but Marty hits a top rope crossbody for a 2 count, and then he nearly wins with a super kick as Polo gets his foot on the rope to break the count. Polo knee lifts Marty from behind to send Jannetty to the floor as we go to commercial. Coming back here, Kid doesn't think that Polo can go since he's not a full-time wrestler. They completely mess up a backdrop to the floor spot with Marty just rolling to the floor, where Polo continues to strike Marty a few times to keep the advantage. In the ring, Polo comes off the middle rope to deliver an axe handle. Marty runs the ropes, leading them to collide heads, and Polo falls to the floor. Jannetty almost wins with the sunset flip, but Polo gains control on the mat. Polo comes off the top, but is met with a boot to the face. Jannetty strikes Polo several times before hitting a leaping clothesline and spinning a back elbow. Jannetty rams Polo 10 times, face first into the turnbuckles, and then Jannetty gets shoved off the middle rope. Polo gets crotched over the top rope, allowing Jannetty to hit a atomic drop. Jannetty misses a spear and hits the post, but Jannetty hits the rocker dropper for the win. Felt like it went a little long for me. The comedy early on didn't really connect. I don't think I'm a big Polo fan at all. Yeah, so this was just, again, not anything that I really wanted to see. Their match in December wasn't bad, but it wasn't something I wanted to see, and I certainly did not want to see a rematch. but this is what we were given.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think all things considered, again, it could have been worse. It's so weird because as I'm watching this, I had two thoughts. So number one, it definitely looked like Marty was just phoning it in. It didn't look like he gave a fuck that he was there, wasn't really putting out a huge effort. Just kind of going through the motions, right? To whereas I feel like with Polo, he was trying to prove something.
For sure.
And I don't know if that's character driven or just personally driven, like from Scott Levy driven. So it was kind of interesting to see that clash there because I definitely picked up on it. And I would say for the most part, I'm not a Johnny Polo fan, but you can see the potential in that talent. So not the character, not necessarily the moves he's doing, but you can see that there's something there. And it wasn't really apparent to me until this match, until I kind of sat and watched this match. I think, it's a shame. Well, let me ask you, Bob, how much longer is Marty here?
Marty, off and on, he's there through 96.
It's crazy to me that a guy like Marty Jannetty, who is so naturally good and can be effortless because he's so good, is so inconsistent.
Yeah.
It's just such a shame because, 1 week we'll go from holy shit, that was an awesome Marty Jannetty match. He carried the match to this week. It just, again, it doesn't feel like he gives a fuck at all about what he's doing.
Well, if you notice, he gives that effort when he's in a higher profile match or if he knows he's winning.
Right. Or like for the tag titles, like
Yeah.
him and Kid. Again, Marty, I think, was delivering.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably right. I think the passion is there when he wants it to be. And that's just such a shame because I still think Marty Jannetty's underrated and he's still one of my favorites at this point that, as we've watched through, but it's just that's all I can say. It's a shame. It's a shame.
Well, yeah, and the thing with Polo and his effort is Scott Levy has made it known that he did not want to be a manager. He wanted to be a big time singles wrestler.
Yeah.
And, so he was probably out there to prove a point, like, hey, I can go, like, put me in that type of position. Because he could have been like an executive and stuff, and like they were grooming him for that. And he's like,
yes,
I want to be a wrestler.
I do remember that. I like a talent development guy or whatever backstage.
Something similar to what Pritchard is or was.
Right. And that's so weird to me too to even think about that. But it's just for me. So like from a storyline, let's forget all that. From a storyline standpoint, a manager should not be taking a full-time wrestler, especially a guy like Marty Jannetty, to his limit. Marty was just IC champion that not that long ago, so I think from a storyline standpoint that didn't make too much sense. So I didn't really like that part of it.
It's these types of matches that show you, like a casual fan, like this is choreographed.
Yes.
Like, could you imagine Harvey Whippleman going in the ring and taking Bret Hart 12 minutes? Like, it's not going to happen.
Right.
Right. But there you are, Johnny Polo going 10 minutes with Jannetty, and he's being presented as a manager that's never wrestled before.
Yeah, so I was kind of caught up. I kind of got hung up on that.
Yeah. No, I get it.
The beginning, though, I don't think you liked it, but I thought it was kind of creative. Like, let's wrap him up with the microphone cord because Johnny Polo is such a big mouth. Like, let's make the first segment of this match here kind of payback for that. Like, we'll wrap him up in the cord. Now, again, it's not a hardcore match. Shouldn't be legal, but
it's not anything like that. Comedy is just very difficult for me to get enjoyment out of.
Well, it turned into comedy when he's, tripping and falling. I mean, if he would have wrapped him up and then just pounded on him, that's one thing.
That'd be different. But
yeah,
that type of comedy isn't gonna. It's very difficult for me to enjoy comedic wrestling, I think.
Yeah, I think it was a good idea, wrong execution kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I'll give him some points to that. IRS is calling 123 Kid a snot-nosed kid. on commentary. He's asking him if it's past his bedtime. He's making constant references to Kid, which they have a past, so I thought that was good. Although
they had the best match at SummerSlam '93.
Damn fucking right they did.
Whatever.
Although Kid wasn't saying fucking shit.
I noticed that. I forgot he was even there.
He talked maybe 5 times the whole match.
Yeah.
And that was like talking by like, yep, well, we'll see. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Give me something here to work with. So that was kind of a disappointment because I was expecting the way it started off, because they were really kind of bantering to begin with. Before like Kid sat down and all that, they were kind of going back and forth. So I was expecting kind of just as much action on commentary as maybe in the ring. And maybe that was the idea, but that's not what we got. Kid was very closed off, didn't want to or wasn't allowed to talk very much. So that was kind of disappointing. All things considered, I did like this match. And I'm surprised to say that because I don't like Johnny Polo. I don't like anything about Johnny Polo. So it was what it was for me.
Yeah, after the match, IRS and Kid have a few words leading to IRS shoving Kid. And then Jannetty comes over to attack IRS. Because, of course, Kid has a bum knee, so he can't really do anything. Mm-hmm. Kid is able to steal IRS's briefcase. I believe we go to a commercial. We come back. IRS knows that Jannetty stole his briefcase, and he's going to go for Jannetty. He's going up the aisleway. Ramon's music hit. Razor Ramon, the Intercontinental Champion, the guy that defeated IRS at the Royal Rumble. And Ramon is with Jannetty. And he has his chains back around his neck because 1, 2, 3 Kid opened the briefcase, and I guess the chains, his gold chains, were in there. So that's the blow off to Ramon IRS, I guess. Is 1, 2, 3 Kid got the chains back.
I didn't like that it was immediate.
I know. It's really
what the fuck, man? Give it some time to breathe.
Like, do that later in the show or something?
At least, if not next fucking week.
Yeah.
Like, what else you got going on? Just fucking save it.
They burned right through it.
Right through it. So literally, Kid like sneaks the briefcase up the ramp, goes to backstage. IRS is throwing a fit. We come back from commercial. He's yelling at Vince. Vince is kind of yelling back at him, like, dude, I don't have it. I don't know where it went. So IRS, of course, assumes it was Marty or whatever. So he's marching up the ramp. Razor's music hits, and there they go. They've already opened. We didn't even see him open the briefcase. We didn't see him take the chains out, put them back on. Thank Kid, nothing. We got no details. It was like, here's what happened. Here it is. No writing in between. Fuck you. That's it. It kind of fell flat for me. So Razor comes out. He's with Marty. They square off with IRS. Officials break them up. The whole deal. So. Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it either. But don't worry, there's a little bit more to this. We got an Ico Pro ad with Ramon and then a Slim Jim ad with Savage. Mm-hmm. Back to the arena. IRS is talking with Vince McMahon. He's trying to deny ever having the gold chains in his briefcase. But, he obviously did. So that's not really going well. Some major news here. Jack Tunney. Remember, he revealed his announcement or statement regarding the Royal Rumble this past weekend on syndication. And so here it is. Tunney says that both men, both Brett and Lex Luger, will have their opportunity at WrestleMania 10 to challenge Yokozuna for the WWF World Championship. The WWF World Championship will be defended twice for the first time ever. Well, I mean, that happened last year, though. I mean, Brett and then Yoko, then Yoko Hogan. That's two. Okay, yeah.
Fucking A. I didn't even think of that, to be honest with you. So that's hilarious.
So that's 1, 2,
2 years in a row.
Yeah, so that happened. There will be a coin toss to see who wrestles Yokozuna first. So then here comes this gem of an idea. If Luger wins the coin toss, obviously he'll face Yokozuna. So Brett would need to wrestle equal opponent level. So he would fight Owen first and then wrestle the winner of Luger and Yoko. If Brett wins the coin toss, then Luger would have to wrestle an equal level opponent which would be Crush. And then he would wrestle the winner of Yoko Brett. So I got a couple problems with this. Number one, why the hell would you want to win the coin toss?
What does it matter?
Well, I would want to lose the coin toss because I could just lose. If I'm Lex Luger, for instance, I'll lose to Crush. I would do like a handshake, tap out real quick, and then I got Brett Yoko, which is the real thing I want to deal with anyway. Why would I? I don't understand.
Why would you want to fight 2 competitive matches?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
It's so convoluted. Like I like the idea. Like, oh, if this happens, then this is gonna happen, but they're both gonna get a shot at the okay, fair enough. It's just so confusing. Even when Tunney's going through it here, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, if they didn't have the graphic up on the screen, I wouldn't have known what the fuck he's talking about.
well, and another thing, this kind of spoils who is going to win the coin toss.
Right.
Do you think Lex Luger is really going to fight Crush at WrestleMania 10?
For no reason.
When Crush has been feuding with Randy Savage for 4 months?
Right. Yeah.
Break.
Right. Yeah, no, it's silly. It's very silly. And then the thing is like, whether you win the coin toss or not, you both are facing the champion at some point.
Yeah, so it doesn't even matter.
So, like,
I would
whatever.
Lose the coin toss.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, so if Luger wins,
or if you're Brett,
and then
you
he would have
win.
to defend it again. So you would have to defend the championship anyway. I would rather just fight for the belt once.
Right. Unless you're Brett and you're like, I don't want to face my brother, so I want to win, kind of thing.
Well, yeah, but I'd rather fight for the championship one time.
Yeah, they're like walk
it twice, like win it and then have to defend it.
Yeah. Well, like you said, if you're, whatever, you walk out of the Luger match, you just walk out, get a 10 count, you lose. You only have to have one match,
Right. And then if the fans boo me, if I'm Lex Luger, the fans boo me, I can be like, guys, I'm saving my energy for Yoko.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, oh my God, he's so smart. That's that Deanless education. I knew it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just so stupid. The whole coin toss concept is stupid. I don't know.
I feel bad for Yoko. He's gonna work twice. He's gonna die.
Well, we can't assume. We might get down to where it's Brett and Luger for the final.
Oh, right. I'm saying, well, he would have if he had to.
That would suck, yeah.
That would suck for him. It's a short end of the stick here.
Right.
Back to the arena here. IRS has issued a challenge to Marty Jannetty for next week. What the freaking do? Match number 2, Bam Bam Bigelow took on Miguel Rosado. Don't know why I went Hispanic with that, but he is Hispanic probably, so we'll just go with it. Bam Bam, I just have he wins the match easily after falling headbutt coming off the ropes. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, and quickly to go back, did they mention referees? So both men will be able to choose a referee?
I believe that's later on.
I thought.
Yeah, that's in the report with Pango.
Okay.
And they're not announced, but
either way, I had it listed here, so that's another interesting thing. Like, again, why does that fucking matter?
Yeah.
So it makes me think, oh, what are we gonna get a screw job with referees or something? Like, who knows?
That's right. Anytime that kind of comes up, that's the idea.
Yeah. As far as this Bam Bam match, really, we didn't get much. We got some "We want Doink" chants. Please, no, we do not want Doink. Rosado hit a shit drop kick. Bam Bam no-sold the fuck out of it and then threw him across the ring. Bam Bam was yelling, I want Doink, I want Doink. They're not the only ones. I want them to, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Again, please, fuck no. We don't want that. This was stale to me. It's just, that was the word that came off the top, stale. There's nothing here. Bam Bam, it doesn't matter. I don't care about Doink. Luna ain't doing shit. She's just there. At this point, it's just stale.
I feel bad for Bam Bam. I mean, I do.
I do, because I feel like he's trying to make something out of it, but it's a no-win situation.
He should be getting a lot more than what he's
getting
with.
Yeah.
It's time for probably the biggest segment of this show. It's the coin flip. Vince McMahon is in the ring with several officials, including WWF President Jack Tunney. They are there, of course, for the coin toss to see who will wrestle first for the WWF World Championship at WrestleMania 10. McMahon goes over the situation that was just described to us moments ago. I mean, in depth too. He fucking tells us what we just heard.
Yeah, he clarifies, and he's like letting Tunney clarify too in between.
Yeah, it's just a bit much. Like we
Yeah.
get it. We're not retarded, and we get it.
Right.
Fans are chanting for Lex. Lex comes out first and doesn't get an overwhelming response by any means. Bret Hart comes out second, and his reaction is a little better, but I'm just thinking the fans aren't very vocal for some reason.
Yeah, I think they're confused too at this point. Like, what all this shit? Like, who gives a fuck? And it's funny too. So, as Vince is over explaining this whole thing, they make it a point to. He literally asks for basically a cameraman to get in the ring and take a closer look at the coin.
Yeah,
and blatantly, it's just a regular silver dollar. So it's a dollar coin. They're showing the back. They're showing the front. That made me think immediately that it was a weighted coin, that they went out of their way to show you that it's just a regular coin. Because from backyard wrestling days, when we would do shit like that, it's because we had shit rigged. So like we'd show you, here's the match stipulation. It was picked by random. Here's the card that we picked. It's because it was fucking rigged. Okay.
Right.
So that's what made me think of that immediately. Like, why are you overstating the fact that it's a regular coin? Of course, we would expect it to be. So I definitely thought that was a setup, and I just wanted to make note of that.
It'd be kind of funny if they did it as a shoot.
Right? Just like, oh, fuck it, whatever.
Well, let's go with it.
Yeah.
Naturally, Bret and Lex shake hands. Lex calls for heads, and he wins the coin toss.
It's literally that's it.
That's all there is. There's no
dialogue. The coin up, it lands, Lex wins. Like, what the fuck, man? There's just that's just that.
Yeah. Lex is thrilled because he's getting a chance to fight Yokozuna. He's guaranteed at least one match, potentially two.
Right.
Luger feels fortunate to be the co-winner, and he's not going to take Yokozuna lightly. He can't think of a tougher competitor than Bret and wishes him luck. Bret chimes in and says that he'd rather avoid a match with Owen, but he's going to have to do it. Mind you, 2 months ago, under no circumstances will I ever fight my brother. I guess.
And now it's a coin toss. Oh, guess I got to do it.
All right.
What the fuck?
Well, I'm gonna do it. I never loved my brother anyway. It's fine. But he's gonna have to do it. He'll just get it over with at Mania, and he says he's not going to wish Yoko any luck, and says it would be an honor to wrestle Luger, and wishes him luck as well. Kind of weird. I don't know how Bret saying an honor. This is the same guy that decked him with a forearm at the press conference at WrestleMania 9.
Right. Yeah, it's really weird. Although I think it'd be very interesting if WrestleMania 10, the main event, final match, Bret versus Lex Luger.
That's what I think you have to do that.
Like, that's kind of perfect.
I would do that.
They've kind of built towards that.
I would have to think so.
Because look at the Superstar of 1993 of the year.
Yeah.
Like, hello setup.
Right.
The finish to the Royal Rumble.
And it's not like we haven't had face versus face at Mania anyway. Hogan Warrior.
Exactly.
And not to say that would be on the same level, but
no, but same concept, same ballpark,
yeah, same idea.
I think that intrigues me because I think Bret could get a decent match out of Lex Luger. To whereas the thought of Lex Luger taking on Yoko again, I don't have much interest in that.
Well, we are guaranteed that.
I know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And realistically, we've already seen Bret Yoko. Are they going to do that for the second year in a row? Come on.
Right.
You know, I feel like you kind of, if it were me, I'm definitely going Lex Bret at the end.
I would, yeah. They would have the most interest, I think.
And not only that, so just to kind of take it that
fresh
step
match
further,
too. It hasn't been on TV.
Yeah, and then you take it that step further, so you finally give Lex his win against Yokozuna, gets the belt, and then turns around and loses it to Bret Hart. And now it's like, holy fuck! I took, I finally got it, and Bret Hart screwed me. And now what? After all that, yeah,
it's a heel turn,
right? And I think that makes perfect story sense.
Yep. I'm sold. I that's what I would do. It just makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But we're not the ones writing the show. We are just the ones talking about it some 30 years later.
Right.
That ad of a bald guy refusing to have sex with a smoking hot babe.
Again.
Instead, wanting to watch Raw is shown. I'll tell you right now, if there's any ladies
Yeah, it's silly. Yeah. It's silly. It's a silly spot. I don't know why they keep playing it. I don't know why Bob just froze, but he did.
I did. You were frozen as well, so that's your fault.
Yeah. Obviously. But yeah, same one we've seen a million times. Oh, unbelievable is what the tagline is.
Yeah. It's unbelievable because it would just never happen.
Fucking happen, yeah.
Our third match, it's Quang against Rich Myers. Quang has Harvey Whippleman with him, which seems to make him probably doomed. He's not going to do much of anything. Rich Myers looks an awful like Joe Dirt.
Yeah, he does. We've seen Rich Myers before, though.
Yeah, but like this focus of him was like, this is freaking Joe Dirt.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah. Owen Hart calls into the show and says he's the big winner because he's going to get a chance to wrestle Brett, and he's going to show that he's always been better than Brett, and he gets to prove that at Madison Square Garden. So that's pretty much all I have on the match here. Quang wins following a savant kick. I know it was very short with like what Quang did here, but I don't think Quang's all that bad. He's got some decent like kicks and strikes and stuff, so I'm optimistic maybe. But Whippleman as his manager is usually the death nail.
Yeah, and the whole thing is like, all right, so I'm just going to rip it apart here for a minute. First of all, Quang's mask, and I've touched on this before, had to cost him about $17.95 because it literally looks like foam, like a shitty foam mask. That's what it looks like. Not to mention that, but like his entrance gear is a total ripoff of Muda's. The whole headgear, the whole thing is a ripoff. He's doing like Muda poses, even like tempting with a mist. He's gonna miss the guy. I think he even sprayed a little bit of mist and like
He did. It was I think a green mist.
Yeah. So like
or red or green.
I think it was red. It was red.
It was red.
I really don't like that. I don't like that it's to me, maybe not in-ring gear-wise with the mask and shit, but I feel like it's a blatant Muda ripoff. Like we want to replicate that mystique of the Japanese Orient. The the entrance gear, all this shit, the mist. Like, oh no, fuck that.
I think that's exactly what they're going for. It seems like anytime they're not able to get a wrestler, so maybe let's say they were interested in Muda and they couldn't get him, then they just go and say, you know what, we'll make our own fucking Muda.
Yeah, and
put
that
him in a mask. He's done.
This is the great value, great Muda, and I really don't like it.
Yeah,
not even the great value. This is the Dollar Tree shit.
Yeah.
This
is the stuff that will break in the car before you even get it out.
Yes. Yeah. It's the wrestler you buy from the dollar store that's not posable at all. It's a hard plastic wrestler who looks like Sin Cara, but it's fucking not Sin Cara. That's what Quang is to Great Muda.
Yeah.
Again, going back, his strikes are decent. He's got some steam. So he's fucking running across the ring, hitting splashes and doing all this shit. But Whippleman's a big mistake, as Bob made mention of. Ripping off Muda is a big mistake. I can't say that I'm excited to see this guy moving forward, to be honest. I just wish they would have went a different direction with him. There's a couple guys that are doing karate shit now. It's like Crush is doing karate shit. This fucking guy's doing karate shit. They just had fucking Kabuki and fucking he was on the Rumble. Tenru's not really karate, but again, yeah, Japanese guy, right? Who else was doing karate moves? Not Crush. Somebody was ripping Crush off doing karate moves.
Probably Virgil.
No, it wasn't Virgil. Somebody else was doing it too, like the stances. Like they were doing karate stances.
Probably Polo. Polo probably did it comedically.
No, it was the guy who was doing it serious. I don't know. I can't think of it. I've seen it a couple times though, of the same guy. I was like, oh, Crush has been doing that shit. I don't know. Regardless, so now it's like now this guy's doing it. It's overplayed to me, and it just shows like the Owen phone call from this guy's first singles match on the show. Like I don't even give a fuck. Who cares? He's hitting throat thrusts. He's posing. He gets the sidekick for the victory. Whatever. Just another. To me, it's just coming across as another guy who's going to get lost in the shuffle.
Potentially, I think again with the Whippleman thing for sure. But I didn't mind it. I mean, you seem pretty negative towards it. I didn't really mind it. I have like maybe a little bit of optimism that they can maybe grow him into something. He's clearly a cheap ripoff of a guy like Muda or something.
That's my biggest gripe with it, honestly.
He looked all right in the ring to me. So
yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
Repackage. That's what I'm asking for. Repackage.
Yeah, that will happen soon enough. Yeah. Todd Pettengill has the WrestleMania 10 report for us this week. Pettengill says that he's, quote, looking fly, unquote, with the WrestleMania jacket. Todd Pettengill is just...
There's nothing fly about Todd Pettengill.
I'm going to look him up and see if he'll do an opener for...
that'd be cool. If he did like an IcoPod report or whatever, that'd be fucking cool.
Pretty cool. The event is sold out at Madison Square Garden, but you can still buy tickets at the to watch it at the Paramount Theater. I don't know why anybody would do that. Just watch it at home.
Well, they were doing that for the first couple WrestleManias. I thought by now they weren't doing that anymore. So that's weird.
Yeah, they definitely are, and
it's like closed circuit shit.
Right. I get it's a big screen or whatever, but it's just like I would just stay home at that point. Like if you can't be there live, just don't go.
Right.
Todd runs down the card for what we'll see, which of course, thus far at least, is WWF World Champion Yokozuna defending against Lex Luger, and Bret Hart taking on Owen Hart, and then Bret will then wrestle the winner of Lex Yoko. And both title matches will have unannounced special referees. There will be plenty of celebrities as well. And of course, WrestleMania takes place on Sunday, March 20th. So we're half away.
Yeah.
So about where we're at. A tribute to The Undertaker is shown. Footage from this past Superstars is shown where Paul Bearer says he feels the spirit of The Undertaker at the graveyard, and he promises that The Undertaker will return.
I don't know if you noticed too, though, in the segment here, Taker's shadow could be seen on a mausoleum walking towards Bearer.
I thought I saw something like that.
Yeah. So we see that Bearer said
they were definitely focusing, like panning out or whatever.
Yeah,
and I think that was the point.
Yep. So I picked up on that. Bearer was saying, "Oh, Undertaker's never going to rest in peace. He's going to return," and he just kept saying that he's going to return. He's going to return. They fade to black. I don't know how many times I can say this. I'm not a fan of The Undertaker. I don't like the segments, honestly. I just think it's too left field for me. And that's coming from a guy who says, fuck yeah, atom bomb.
Right.
Fucking, nuclear waste mutant guy. So, and like the superhuman, supernatural thing that they just highlighted with the Rumble, it's just hard for me to take a guy like Undertaker serious to the point where he might win the WWF championship. Like, God, I fucking hope not.
I think this incarnate, I know he's been the champion prior, but that was like a week. I don't think he needs to ever be the champion. He's the attraction, especially in this incarnation of him. He does not need to be a champion contender.
Exactly. And that's
maybe when they humanize him more, that's maybe different. But now that he's like the dead supernatural,
ghost. Yeah.
Like a zombie or whatever you want to call it. So
no.
Yeah. Our main event this week. This is one that I've actually been looking forward to because he's one of my favorites. He wasn't in my top 10 last week, but he's one of my favorites. Corey Student. No, I'm just kidding. Earthquake. He's making his return to the WWF in a singles role. And of course, he is taking on Corey Student. The last time we saw Earthquake, I believe, was the 1993 Royal Rumble. So he's been gone for about a year.
Yeah.
McMahon says that there's going to be a big ovation for Earthquake, but that does not really happen. Most of the fans seem to be like, who the fuck is this guy? And
yeah,
a few of them remember who he is, but it wasn't that big of an ovation by any means.
Yeah.
Student tries to attack before the bell, but Quake hits a belly-to-belly suplex. We are then told that Marty Jannetty has accepted IRS's challenge for next week. Quake dominates the entire match. Quake says that a lot of people are in trouble now that he's back. He yells that to the camera. And then he wins following the sit-down splash. Personally, I'm glad to see Earthquake back. I've always enjoyed his stuff. And now that he doesn't have Typhoon kind of weighing him down, we'll kind of see where he goes from there. What are you thinking about Earthquake here?
Well, it's funny because Corey Student's already in the ring, and Vince is like, "Oh, this guy's gonna get a big ovation," like Bob says, and then he's like, "No, not Corey Student, for this man." So Earthquake comes out, and I was like, "Yo, fuck yeah to this! I'm ready for this." And I have to make note, Quake was looking in decent shape. He did not look like he did before he left. It looked like his gut was at least a little bit shrunken down.
Mm-hmm.
So that was nice. So I was like, okay, let's fucking see what happens here. Quake hits a huge belly to belly, fucking plants the guy, kills him with it. And automatically I was all in. I was like, hell yeah, fucking Earthquake. Let's go, John Tenta. So he does. He dominates the match. He's hitting big leg drops, yelling. He's aggressive, yelling in the camera, like Bob said. My only gripe was I don't know if we were supposed to cheer him or boo him.
I think it was cheer.
I thought it was cheer too, but at the same time, Quake was doing stuff that you're not really supposed to cheer all the time. So he's like, and I feel like the crowd was kind of on the same page because he's not getting a great reaction. So I don't know if I want to just chalk it up as they don't care or they're just confused.
Right. Maybe. They don't know how to take him.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of where I was at. I mean, don't get me wrong. Quake is slapping hands to and from the ring. So he's obviously looking for that face reaction, but really, can a guy like Earthquake be a face? I don't think so.
Well, he was with Typhoon.
I know, but I think effectively for optimal Earthquake, I don't think he can be a face.
Maybe not. But I'm interested to see where he goes with it. In that role. So I like Earthquake. I think he's a positive addition to television. He's a star. You know, they don't really have a lot of them.
Yes. Yep. I agree. An established guy, a good big guy. But again, as we touched on earlier, we've seen a lot of big good guys kind of come and go.
That's true.
Couple of months. So I'm going to stay optimistic because I really like Earthquake, but I'm worried for him.
Yeah, let's try to keep it positive, okay, Austin?
I'm just worried we're not going to get what we want.
I know.
Backstage,
WWF Intercontinental Champion Razor Ramon and Marty Jannetty chat with McMahon while IRS calls them thieves. Ramon chimes in and says the IRS will have Jannetty next week. Jannetty says IRS always takes advantage on people who are down. And Marty says he's going to kick IRS's butt, and IRS won't have help from the government. And that IRS can then steal it from himself. All right, Marty. That made a lot of sense.
I thought it was a decent promo.
Are you kidding me, man?
It wasn't the clearest.
No.
It wasn't the clearest, but he was like tying in basically how the government screws the little guy.
Right. I get what they're doing, but and then you can steal it from yourself, IRS. What? Yeah.
I don't know. I thought from Marty, Marty, who's giving maybe 50% of himself, seemed like to have a little bit of fire in the promo, and I appreciated that because he sure didn't show it in the fucking ring. So I don't know. I don't like him and Razor. Like Razor didn't even say anything. And it's technically Razor's feud, or was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So I didn't really like that. And then they're standing in front of like a piece of plywood. Like, where the fuck are you guys? I don't know. It was awkward, but I thought at least Marty showed some fire in the promo. I appreciated that. I think Marty and IRS work decently together. It's nothing fucking groundbreaking, but at least Razor's not stuck with IRS anymore. So it is what it is.
Yeah. The fans are chanting Irwin towards IRS.
Huge Huge win chance.
IRS for sure is a
He's
you know, he's an over as a heel. He's just boring as sin in the ring for the most part.
Yeah.
Kind of a rundown here for what's going to be happening next week. Thurman Plug, he'll make his Raw debut. Owen Hart will be in action. Smoking Guns will be here as well. And of course, the featured match is Marty Jannetty taking on IRS. Before we go away, though, we see footage of 123 Kid stealing IRS's briefcase. And it sounds like IRS is like, wait, what? There's 123 Kid. Like, then I don't want Marty. But before you can like backtrack or anything, the show comes to an end. So IRS has essentially been tricked. Well, I guess he tricked himself because he jumped to conclusions.
Using it, you know.
Yeah. So it's looks like maybe IRS is going to be in a match that he doesn't really want to be in next week. But yeah, that wraps up the January 31st episode of Raw. Quite a bit going on, I would say, compared to last week, obviously with like the coin flip and everything like that. I would say it was better than last week, so I'll give it like average, middle of the road type of show. I like seeing Earthquake back. The coin toss thing is just humorous for just being kind of ridiculous, but yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. It looks like next week's show should be pretty good in ring wise. So, what about you? What did you think about it?
Yeah, I was just going to touch on that. So jump into kind of next week before I recap the show. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really hoping that Sparky Plug is going to surprise me and end up being like this blue collar guy that just beats people's asses. Kind of like a Scott Steiner. He just doesn't care.
Right.
And he's not the greatest maybe in the ring, but he just beats people up. Like that's what I'm hoping for. I don't know. We'll see. Smoking Guns in action. Haven't seen them in a while. So that'll be kind of nice to see them. Owen, where I'm down for an Owen match. Even if it's an enhancement match, I'm down for it. So I am looking forward to next week. I think they have some good storylines kind of in the works. I would like to see more of some of the ones that are already established, though. Like we need more Crush Savage. You know, we need more. Even Yoko, we haven't seen since Rumble. So I'd like to hear from Yoko a little bit. His thoughts on this whole debacle with fucking Lex and Brett. So I think there's still room to. They only got a couple weeks, a handful of weeks to flay everything out. So I'm hoping we get the job done and we are ready for WrestleMania. Not like last year where it's like, oh, I wish they did more of this instead of just throwing this on the fucking show. Right. So we'll see what kind of happens with that. As far as this week's TV here for Monday Night Raw, I don't think this is a skippable one. I think this is one you do have to sit down and watch because we get the big coin toss thing that they build here. We get the quote unquote conclusion of Razor IRS, which has been kind of a TV feud that they've been really working on. Plus Earthquake's return. So that was pretty cool. I was definitely down for that. I think as far as the Marty Polo match, again, decent. I think there was more decent action this week compared to last week. So all in all, better for sure. I would agree with Bob there. I didn't mind IRS on commentary. I thought he did a decent job on commentary, even though a lot of it was his same old shtick. I didn't necessarily get sick of IRS, which was a nice surprise because I was kind of expecting to. So, yeah, I did. I enjoyed this week's episode. Maybe not so much for the action, but some other things.
Yeah. Yeah. So coming up though, the next episode is February 7th, and then they get preempted on the 14th. So there won't be one there. So the next show we'll be doing is the 7th and then the 21st, which means that we're inching even closer to WrestleMania 10 in terms of the shows that we're covering. So yeah, we're getting right. This is like pretty quick onto it. I think from like Mania till King of the Ring, there's like you're months.
Yeah. And they'll need it.
Yeah. To kind of build things up there. So, yeah, I don't really have anything else though for this episode. We did a lot of talking last week. This one was pretty much cut and dry because again, when it's a fairly good show, there's not much you really want to talk about, and So this one might be a little bit shorter than last week's. We almost went what, hour 45 last week?
No, it was almost 2.
Almost 2 hours.
Hour 55, as my upstairs neighbors sound like they're moving their whole fucking kitchen.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Hopefully they fall through and make a cameo. That'd be great.
I'd love them to fall through because I'd like to punch each one of them right in the face.
You live on the middle floor?
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Yeah. We didn't have a choice, unfortunately.
That sucks.
So, yeah, my upstairs neighbors are very fucking loud.
Yeah.
So
I live on the bottom floor. I don't really hear anybody above me. They could be dead for all I know. I have no idea.
I'd like to live on the top floor at this point because in Florida, bottom floor, dude, between the water, the bugs, like you don't want to be on the first floor. So I think next time around we're going all the way up.
Cool. So when you come back to Syracuse, you'll be on the top floor. Great.
I wouldn't count your chickens before they hatched there, buddy.
Yeah. Well, a man can fucking dream. Okay. A man can fucking dream.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, this has been another fabulous episode of IcoPod. Please share it around. Let us know what you hate about us. What's your least favorite quality of me?
Let us know if you think Bob looks 43.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if a lot of people know what I look like, but if you go to Yo Bobby Boy 89, there's a picture from about 2012 on Twitter.
All right.
So
So
yeah,
only look 41 then.
Yeah, I'll look about 40.
Yeah.
Be pretty good.
Okay.
But all right, so be on the lookout for some live watches coming up soon. We'll get back on track here. Well, next time we will be recording is April 4th because I'm going to Washington at 4 a.m. on the 28th because I'm an idiot. But yeah, that's next time we'll get together and we'll continue this journey through IcoPod. And this has been another episode of IcoPod.
Oh, you're not even going to ask me if any last minute thoughts, Bob?
Oh, do you have any more? Do you have any other last minute thoughts?
Yeah, here's one. Listen really close.
Yeah.
You got to hear it.